everyone. Okay, we are going to continue where we left off on Thursday, making line plots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through question 1 of the practice buddy to show you exactly how to answer it. Then I'm going to kind of walk you through the other problems and show you how to solve it, but not solve it, because some of you might have the same questions and some of you don't. So let's look at number 1. Use the data in the table to complete the line plot. What is the length of the longest piece of bark? What is the shortest length? So we have our table of data, and it shows all the different lengths of the tree bark. So this is what we're going to use to make our line plot. So here is the incomplete line plot. So instead of clicking back and forth, and this is what you need to do as well, I'm going to quickly draw out. So you would do this on paper, on your whiteboard, however you want to do it, this number line. So I start with 3, 3.5, and it's not perfect, it's okay. 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6. This is going to help me a lot. Okay, so now I need to make my x's. So I'm going to find those x's here. So as I go, I'm going to cross out. So 4 gets an x, 6 gets an x, 3.5 gets an x, 3.5 gets another x, 4.5 gets an x, 3.5 gets another x, 6, 6 again, 3.5, and 4. Okay, so now I have my line plot. So now I want to match it to A, B, C, or D. So I know right away that 3.5 has 1, 2, 3, 4 x's to start. So A, I look at 3.5. 3.5 does not have any dots, so it cannot be A. B, 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. Let's see. 4 has 2 x's. 4 has 2 dots. 4.5 has 1. 4.5 has 1. And 6 has 3. 6 has 3. So it must be B, but I'm just going to triple check. Okay, already this does not have 3.5, so it can't be this one. And this one, 3.5, only has 2 dots, and we know ours has 4. So the answer has to be B. Okay, so we check our answer. Let me move myself. Check. Great. So we can move on to the next one. The longest piece of bark is blank inches long. So now I can look at this line plot. I look all the way to the right for the longest measurement with dots, which is 6. And the shortest piece of bark is 3.5. So remember, I'm going to use this mixed number tool, 3.5. Okay, so now we move on. So now I'm going to show you how to solve this and how you can write it down, but I'm not going to completely solve it. Okay, here we go. Daria weighed each of the 7 cats that had appointments at the veterinary office today. The total weight of the 7 cats was 10 2/4 pounds. So if you added up all the weights of the cats, you should get 10 2/4. Her line plot showed only 6 dots. What was the weight of the missing cat? So here are all of my weights. I know my total, and I know the weights that are here. So to find the one that's missing, I'm going to subtract. But I have to add all of these up first. So I'm going to add 1 plus 1 1/4. But 1 1/4 has 2 dots. So I'm going to make sure that I add that 2 times. Don't forget that. If there's more than 1 dot, you have to add it that many number of times. Plus 1 2/4. 1 3/4 does not have any dots. 2 has 2 dots. 2 plus 2 is 4. And that is it. So I'm going to erase this, X out, and I'm going to add the fractions first. So 1/4 and 1/4 is 2/4. 2/4 plus 2/4 is 4/4 or 1 whole. So now I can add my whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get 9 as my answer. So now I have to subtract 9 from 10 and 2/4 to find my missing number. And I'm not going to do it for you, but that is how you would solve that. Okay. Femi recorded how far she ran each day for 5 days. Make a line plot of Femi's data. Write a question that would require addition or subtraction to solve using Femi's data. What is the answer? So here is her information. Choose the correct line plot. So you can take her information and we can make a number line, and this is what you should do. So here's my number line. Let's look for the smallest number. The smallest number is 1 2/8. So I'm going to start with 1 2/8. And what comes next? 1 3/8. 1 5/8. I put a blank because this would be 1 4/8. 1 5/8, 1 5/8, 1 6/8, 1 7/8, 2, and I would keep going until I got to 2 4/8. And then I would click the correct line plot. So I'm not going to do this for you, but you would look and you would match them up to this. And then you would create a question that involves addition or subtraction. So you could say something like, if you combine 1 2/4 and 1 4/8, or 1 2/8 and 1 4/8, how many miles is that? What's the difference between the longest distance ran and the shortest distance ran? How many miles did the person run in all? Any of those questions. I'm going to continue without checking my answer. And then your last question, Joseph is making necklaces for his family. The necklaces have the following lengths in inches. So here are your lengths. Use the data set to complete the line plot. Draw the dots and write the scale values. So here's your line plot. Again, draw it on paper. So here I would put my shortest one is 19. I have 19 1/4. And this is hard to write on here. 19 2/4 through 19 3/4, 20. Okay, and then you would plot them. So you do that on your number line, and then you are going to match it to the one that goes with it. Okay, this takes a lot of reading, a lot of double checking. Please don't just type something and turn it in. Also, if you get it wrong, use that help me solve this button to solve. Ask me, I'll jump on here with you. Read carefully, match carefully, go through each step, draw all your number lines. Good luck. Let me know if you need me.